Should be good. What's going on, guys? Eric the Epic here. Gonna check out this cool, weird game, What Remains of Edith Finch. Heard it's good, don't know anything about it. Check. Oh, I'm already playing it, I guess. Edith Finch. Okay. I don't get what I'm supposed to. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay. Well,
Someone
really
had put
pretty.
up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Huh. Okay, so it has a... It's very similar
My brother
to...
Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Huh. Okay, that's sad. It's very reminiscent of, Epistory for me.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Doesn't really look structurally safe. You know, not that I'm an architect.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Huh. That's kind of creepy. Trippy. Seeing a body as you
I
look
hadn't
down.
been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
How many dead brothers does she have? Okay.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Okay.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Okay.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Sad. Milton. Finch.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Very pretty game, though. Okay. Lost flyers of her missing brother all over the place. All over the place.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Really, that does not look structurally safe at all. I didn't mean to go to the house as quickly as I did. I thought I was going off the beaten path, but apparently I was going on the path. Oh. I see. There's two entrances to it, one through the woods and one not. One through the path. It is really very pretty, though.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Music's kind of pretty, though. I forgot what I don't even know what that sentence said. I'll look at it on the playback. Never mind. I won't. Huh. Oh, okay. So that was where the fork in the road was. Is there not a run button? Edith, Lewis Milton, Sanjay, Don Gus Gregory, K, Walter Odin, Eddie, Ingeborg, Sam, Calvin, Sven, Barbara, Molly. Music is kind of pretty, though. Pretty catchy, actually. It keeps playing in my head. Okay. I wonder why she only lived here till she was 11. Like, every button is zoom in this game. Control, Shift, Q, right click. Lots of zoom in. Is it like an alligator boat? Looks like an alligator boat.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Is it because it's creepy? Because that's a pretty common word for something that looks like it's structurally unsound. Creepy.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh. Close enough. It's roughly the same thing. Be afraid the house would tumble down with you inside it. How long has this house been abandoned for? Because this place doesn't look all that dirty.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Okay, well I guess the main door was locked. even though I have the key for it.
The
Just
power had been turned off the night we left.
This place has got to be depressing to walk through if all of your family is dead. Which is what I'm assuming if she's the one inheriting the house at 17.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Huh.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
That's really sad.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
The voice actress is doing a good job, though. Lewis Finch, 1988 to 2010. Brother, son of Don. That was the year I was born. Great grandson to Eddie. Finch Family Cemetery. Edith, Eddie, Don, Lewis. Don was the mother. Eddie was the grandmother, maybe? And Lewis. Loving memory of Lewis Finch. He died at 22.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Okay, whatever.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Eddie, Don, Milton, Lewis, Edith. (2010). So we left at 2010.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
That has to be more metaphorical. If that's literal, that's really creepy. The horse, the Norse, as in Norse mythology, Norse myths.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Sasha. There's Bigfoot. An entomologist, I see. Oh, hello, Sasha, kitty. No, you can sit here. Come here. You can sit on my lap, baby. Oh, okay. Guess you don't want to sit on my lap. I gotta put my feet down, though. Sitting like this is painful. After a while. Okay. Something really weird about this house. I mean, I almost wouldn't be too surprised to suspect time travel fuckery going on. Time and the Gods, the Library of Babel. They have a Jabberwocky. Ah, oh, very cool. Big Book of Homeschooling.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Huh. Lovely story. You guys have a lot of books. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of Easter eggs just in the book names. But, who has time to read the several hundred, no, 1,000 books in here? The Weird. The Weird. The Weird is here twice. The Book of Sand. Swedish Folk Tales. Labyrinths. Gravity's Rainbow. Lots of doubles, obviously. There's no way they're going to sit here. Another The Weird. There's no way they're going to sit here and create literally 1,000 different books for this game. Several thousand books. Wait, I haven't actually been examining any of this stuff. I've just kind of been looking from afar. Dawn Finch. Living room. So that's her mother then, right? Yeah. Everyone's dead, except for her. Well, dead in theory anyway.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
This is really sad and forlorn. I believe we've come full circle in the house. I don't know if there's anything more to...
Only one restaurant would deliver to our house. We had Chinese a lot.
Guess we've come full circle with examining like the main way.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Who's Barbara? Way down the tree. 1944, huh? Any other... What's this? A window into the garage from the living room. That's interesting from the dining room. It's an interesting choice in architecture. That's where we came in. I don't think I explored the garage very well, though. Were there any interactable moments in here that I missed? I suspect something really supernatural shit going on here. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if time travel, dimensional travel, something really crazy and weird going on here. Okay, let's check upstairs, I guess. all that's left.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Sealed up all the bedrooms.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
This is a really interesting choice in design. A sunken house. Is that the old house? The first house? They decided to put it in a playroom on the walls?
Lewis told me there were secret passages,
Weird.
but I never believed him.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Are you sure that that's, like, best of ideas? I mean, you really don't have anything else to go on with your life and your family, so I guess that's not a problem.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
This guy was quite the entomologist. All these bugs everywhere. Sven and Eddie. Sven Hofstad Finch. Eddie. Edie.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Huh. Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
That's really creepy. This dude was only alive for a year. 1976 to 1977, unless I'm missing something here. This is the bathroom, so why does it have a name on it? Calvin.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What? You mean the corpse was in the same room? That's fucking weird. Why? I don't understand. Okay. It obviously can't be it. You want to... That can't be it. She's dog face. My friend Bigfoot. Introducing Barbara Finch. Sorry, and his Bigfoot. So that explains the music box then.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
I see. Barbara.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Odin, huh?
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Hmm. Where was her room? This is what? Molly? Sven and Eddie. Calvin and Sam. Barbara. Piper Piper. So I guess her room was in the third floor, huh? Before we start the adventure off properly by going into this one room that we go to that has something interesting in it, I want to see if we can't go outside and get a view of this scenery. I guess not. Okay. Okay. Well, here we go.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Yeah. That's definitely an interesting scenario. Island calves. Oh, I see. Pretty view, though. Barbara, Molly, Edie, and Sven. She must have, maybe she was trying to become an entomologist too. Entomology.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Oh. Daddy is fishing. Molly's in a castle underwater. There's a big Like fishing serpent dragon with the
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Huh. Clever. Pacific Ocean depth. Very interested in other living creatures in general as a whole. Huh. Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
This is weird. This is weird. No peephole. Gerbil food. I thought about we're not eating the fish. That's messed up. Where's the beach? It's supposed to be foggy out there. And night. No. You're gonna eat your Halloween candy. That's what you're gonna eat.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Figures. The gerbil food.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
But I'm hungry. I'm starving to death. Ugh. Eat the toothpaste.
I kept eating and eating.
Even though you're not supposed to eat toothpaste because it's fucking poisonous.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly,
Whoa.
I was a cat.
What? I was a cat. I didn't see this happening. Oh, this is cool.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
This is one. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. Ew.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Perhaps something weird happens to each of the occupants of the house. Maybe they're all still alive some way, shape, or form. Ew. Oh. It's cute. The kitty meows.
I jumped and I almost got her.
What, you want to kill the bird? I know you're hungry, but...
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Treehouse.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Aw. Well, she had to survive to have written the diary.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Oh.
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. This is a cool experience.
Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I
That's
swallowed him up,
creepy.
and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
This is weird, man. Really cool, though.
A mama rabbit.
Why do you want to keep eating mothers? Are you pissed off at your mother? Great.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What the fuck?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Wow. You're having quite the dream, Molly.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
This kid has some sick dreams.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
You're an octopus.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
You smell people.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Now you're gonna kill people. It's disturbing.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
This is really disturbing.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
The fuck are we now? An octopus still.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Herself?
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
What the fuck?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
This is fucking weird.
I can't describe it, but felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Look under the bed. Is that Molly?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
It's really very pretty. What would have her decide to just walk out on the windowsill? Oh, to get to the next room. Smart.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Bob, Burpee, Derpy, oh jeez, she really liked birds. Rob, Lurpy, Purply, Furpy, Shrine Sketches.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Mom sounds really intense.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
A week before we left.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Win a family day out at Druid World.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Oh yeah. Sam Photo Award, Conspiracy Now, Weird America, The Finches, Home Movies, Sam Medal Ceremony, My Friend Bigfoot, Edith Interview, Random Junk. You Won't Go. 72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate because of a little forest fire. Oh, it says Edie won't go.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Built 1937 by Sven Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Killed by a dragon. Dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. Oh. Killed by a dragon is a better story. For a loved one. Tragedy strikes at Finch Family Pond. Celebration turns to mourning. Sven. Taxidermy for the homeowner. Dragon-shaped slide, huh? Norwegian folktales. Deepest sympathy.
Even in her 90s, Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Your mother worried too much.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Ugly as sin, too. There's a Secret in This Bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch. Boy, that's kind of a interesting title. Hey, Candy, how are you doing tonight? We're playing something really interesting. Huh. Baby Bubble Bonanza. Anything else interactable other than... Well, there's the diary, and then there's the next locked
The room
area.
was like a museum.
Odin. The Mysteries of Death and Thereafter by Odin Finch. Mysteries of Death and Thereafter. Joining the great majority.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And misfortune.
Huh. Real news from around the world.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Oh. So that's how the house sank then. He left with his house. In the middle of the ocean, he took his house with him. Talk about eccentric.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Oh.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
So that's what that is. So much for trying to leave the curse behind.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Interesting.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Alright, let's check out the locked book. 1937. Sven Finch. There's a Secret in This Bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Huh.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Who is Sam? Sven. This family tree is a bit confusing to read for me. Odin gave birth to Edie, and then Edie and Sven, different tree. Sam and Walter. Okay. Calvin Finch. Born 50, died 51. Calvin. Huh? 50, 61. Oh, 61. This house is a living museum of her family. Couple turns land into a native haven. Fort Calvin. One liked space, one liked army. Fort Sam. Certificate of... I can't read that, but it looks like it says sleep dance. There's no way. United States Marine Corps. Captured. The Secret Lives of War Photographers. Football. Sam Finch. Most improved player. Odin Finch National Park. So when did Sam and Calvin die? They were both born the same year, twins. One died at 11. One died at 33. Who died at 11? Calvin. So the astronaut died at 11. And the army man died at 33. And Sam was given the camera, which explained the dark room in there. Explore the universe. Orcas Island Regional High School. Cobra Battalion Bravo Company. Certificate of Achievement is presented for achieving 120% department grade in the third quarter of the school year. Join and fight. To command center. He started smoking. Must have been after he grew up. Darts.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Hey Candy, how are you
And
doing
that
tonight?
He never talked about him.
What's going on, Candy? We're playing a really interesting and sad game. Really interesting, though. Calvin was the one who died. at age 11 in 1961. And then his brother went on to die in 83. He just kind of stopped marking his growth chart after that point. So this is what she meant by he shared a room with his dead brother for X many years. It means he wouldn't even touch his stuff. That's so sad. We'll touch that in a minute. From seeing your cousin. Have a good time, I hope. Sand Strider.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Huh.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Oh no. Oh no. The broken leg?
I told him going around was impossible.
Going around was impossible. There's no way. Okay. What are we doing here? Calvin, what are we doing? I'm not gonna jump. Oh God. I see. There is no jump button. I pushed all the buttons, it doesn't do anything.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Oh, we're not going high enough.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then
Oh,
maybe
no.
he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I
No.
think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
This game's making me sad, man.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Hmm.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Must have been impossible, really. Living in there for 7 years. Alright, let's see what we got.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Whose room is this? Oh, Barbara.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
This house is a living museum.
I never
Of
thought
her
about
family.
how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
How long did she live for? 16. She died at 16. Penelope's Diner. Fan mail. Toys. Film reel, lunchbox. Trophies. Happy birthday, Barbara. That shouldn't even exist. That should have rotted away in like 70 years. Barb Street. Huh. The Dreadful Stories. Guest starring Barbara French.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
Beastie
But
Con.
in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven.
Sven.
He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So
shit.
Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Oh.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Oh no.
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
How would the key have gotten back? Oh no. Let's go back up the stairs. This doesn't seem like a smart idea. Grab a weapon. You don't go without a weapon.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Pick it up as a weapon. Yeah. Okay. That's fucking creepy, dude.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh god. Stay away from the fucking table saw, definitely.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
No,
I'm
that's
not
fucking
scared,
shitty.
Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
The crutch?
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
What?
Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
You're gonna regret saying that. Really. You're really gonna regret saying that. What is this, Halloween night?
Walter, are you there?
So this is Walter's room then?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police described the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the Hookman, and was speechless.
Beat the shit out of him with the
He was
crutch.
quite smashing.
Fuck you. You still have your little brother.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Beat the fucking shit out of him. You gotta save your brother. Or not.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Take off those fucking clinky ass shoes, yo.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grown.
Fuck you.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
What was it, her boyfriend? Her super metrosexual boyfriend? The hash-slinging slasher. Took your eyes off him. Haven't you seen a horror movie? Don't you know what happens when you take your eyes off of?
The Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Of course, it's a full moon.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Should have taken at least one of them out.
Myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
It's fucking weird.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Calvin died the very next year.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Huh. I guess so. I do like how all of the doors are personalized based on the person's interests. Oh, that's a picture of her mother painting the door. Well, I guess I know where we're going now. Yeah, that was pretty creepy. Huh. Could have been creepy if there was a crutch right there. Sven's workshop. And these are the pieces of wood that
Mom
are...
said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
So all the pieces of wood that everybody is being memorialized on. Blah, tripping over my words.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Okay. It's very dark. Can't see anything. Thank you. Right on cue.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Walter? Oh, Walter was the kid who died. It was her brother. Barbara's
She said
brother.
after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
He died a year after, though. After his big sister did. Alvin O's cereal. Extra crispy. Why is there cereal down here? Cereal only has a set
If there's a
shelf
pattern
life.
in all these stories,
It's that everybody dies, huh? So lots of peanut butter. Peas. Jelly. Jiggly Farms, huh? Tasty beans. Sweetie Crisps.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Yeah, that's true. There's a sink down here and everything. Is this an electrician room? It's like a fallout shelter. There's Walter. 2005. Oh. I was looking at Sam. No? Wait. Barbara, Calvin. Oh. Walter died 2005. Never mind. I've been looking at the wrong person the whole time. got through March.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Routine, huh?
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
January 1976.
You get used to anything.
8 years later.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
That's called Stockholm Syndrome.
And then one day, everything just
2005.
stopped.
March. His calendar stopped being marked at the 31st mark. This is 7 days before. 6 days before.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week
31st.
now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
It's been 30 years, Walter. 30 years living in your basement. 30 years. He's what, 33 now? No. 53. Barbara Finch's child star.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
Alvin knows.
Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Well, at least you came to terms with that reality.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
No. Walter, I really don't think you are.
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left.
A year.
Or a month.
Oh.
Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day.
So pretty.
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
The irony. How does he look that old at 53? Okay. The stress. Must have been the stress.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Did she not draw an illustration of Odin? She did.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
What, that your family's cursed and you're the last living?
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
What else did she not tell you?
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Yeah.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Make sure there's no train coming. Learn from your uncle.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
He made model trains. And he was killed by one. He was killed by that which he loves. If that's not irony, I don't know what is.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
With the chairs on the trees.
But I thought you should know about your family.
You should know about your family.
And the history you're a part of.
Is she... Okay. Is she really not really 17? And this is just a flashback of her when she was 17 and she's writing to a unborn child right now? I guess that's possible. She's writing about her experiences of being when she was 17 and she found out about her family.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
That was a creepy thing back there. What, the totem? I think Sven was creating totems of his family, just as a way to decorate the place. Oh. in remembrance of his family. Or perhaps just to personalize it a bit more, you know? This is where I came from, I think. Yeah, they're kind of creepy looking. Especially in this dark and dreary atmosphere where everybody's dead. I mean, the dude brought his house with him from what, Sweden? Across the ocean? Only to have it wreck up on the shores.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
More totems. There's the memorial of Odin in his house. They both went tumbling to the bottom of the sea.
And when you look at the house, it had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
Could we go that way? No. Yeah, this whole game is really
I
forlorn.
think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
That's really sad, too.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Those are the birds that were in Aunt Edith's house, or room. Fish, bunny, unmarked, unmarked. Zoe, Coco, Tucker, Daisy, Lucy, Charlie, and then all the birds. Oh shit, there's more. Shadow is a cat that died. The year I was born. Oh, that's gonna fuck me up big time. I miss my Shadow. Wait a second. That's too much of a coincidence for me to just pass up. Wait a second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's complicated. Shadow was pretty much the only thing I inherited from my father when he passed, so... He was the, most loyal cat I've ever had in my life. He passed about a year and a half ago. Bailey. Oh, dude, I'm glad I didn't see that one. I got it out of my system. I don't need to see that one, too. Mr. Bailey, come here, buddy. I want to pet you. No, you're just sleeping.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly Finch. She had her cat dream. Calvin Finch, the astronaut. Sven Finch, the carpenter of the house. Edie Finch, keeper of stories, I guess. Walter Finch. Who is Walter? Walter was the dude who lived in the hole in the ground. Staring out into the sunlight. Barbara Finch, child star.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Sven and Edie, with their baby, in the house that went down.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
That's the house, that's where Odin died.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
I don't know if I'm ready to trigger that yet.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
I guess I'm going to go. Internet is being weird, not letting the stream load. See you later and have a good night. You have a good night too, Candy. Good to see you again.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gregory Finch, Sam Finch, and Gus Finch.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Milton Finch. Who is Milton? Oh, her brother. The painter. Sanjay. Lewis. Sanjay.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Goose had a crown, huh?
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Uh-huh. Called it. At 17?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Looks like this dude's a hunter. Sam, huh? Sam. S. Finch.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Wait, Sam was the other brother, right? The hunter one is my favorite. Sam was the other brother. So this was his room then. He graduated out of... Are those bullet casings supposed to just be flying like this? I think we're missing a shelf. Or something. All this stuff is missing a shelf, it looks like. Glass. Oh, I didn't see it. I was too close to see it. Back here I can see the glass
Instead of
shelf.
hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Well, how long did he last for? 33. Looks like he got a bum leg. And, huh? Walter, 53. Yeah. So Sam lived till he was 33. Why does he look so old then? It's so dark in here. K. No name K on here. Nothing to really interact with in here, huh? Other than this letter over here. Never forgot his brother. There's the spaceman. That's sad.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Dawn. 2016. That's, what? Let's just say that's 6. 50, 48? I don't know. Can't do basic math and I don't want to right now.
Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
This is cool.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad.
Aw.
It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn up.
Shit.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
That's fucked. That's not cool.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Oh.
Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
still...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Irony. Are they all been killed in ironic ways?
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Why? Why? Well, there's Kay now. Why? Okay. So what's gonna be the thing that kills her then? If they've all been killed in ironic ways. Who have we seen so far? Molly, who, going by her book, by her story, she ate herself because she was so hungry, okay? Barbara died being scared to death. Not actually being attacked, okay, but you know what I mean. Calvin wanted to fly as the astronaut. Walter loved trains, got ran over by his train. Odin was trying to escape the curse with his house, and he went down with the ship. House. Whatever. Sam was a hunter. Killed by his own prey. I don't even remember how I got here. From this tree. No. Oh, hold on. There has to be another... Yeah, here we go. Ready to eat meals.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Yeah. Finch control. This must have been his brother's. Yeah. Calvin's stuff. 3D glasses, huh? Dead babies, huh? Values worth having. Teamwork. Strength, respect.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Sam Finch. Divorce contract. No, don't put it away. This game is so sad, man.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Did he drown?
Watching over Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
He drowned.
What his world was like. so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Uh-oh.
It sure made him happy.
Okay.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
No.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
He did drown.
Hey, there's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. About everything.
Pull that
Knowing
plug.
What happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Hmm. Turned into a frog, huh? Dawn. Gus. She didn't think her mother was much of a poet, but... Poem for Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Did he get struck by lightning?
time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Metal shit.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
This game is really fucked up. Really sad.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
13, huh? Greg, be a baby.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Her mother was Dawn. Okay. And she was the one who was forced to kill that deer.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Milton. Lewis. on.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Lewis rules. Oh, I'm just remembering I never checked out her computer. Her mom's computer. Heck, fly to India. Hmm.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Edie could build like fuck crazy, man.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
How old was Milton? 11? Milton was 11. And he drew this shit. 11. Wow. Kid was a prodigy.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Castle. King. That's so cool.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Disappearing act.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
This game is called The Remains of Edith Finch. So is that her, or is it her grandmother?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Is her room the
Mom
very top
definitely
room?
blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Is that
After
her?
he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
No, I didn't say go forward. I just looked, all I did was turn around. Lewis Finch, locker contents.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Irony. Not irony. That's fitting for the family. It seems. Institute of Psychology.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it.
Well, I see how this is going to
He
end.
started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
This is going to end potentially really gruesomely. This cannery isn't very safe.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss, but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Till he gets fucking chopped up.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
shouldn't have.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. And one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Not that it's making any difference, but
St. Louis.
making sure not to do the fish while I'm playing the game at the same time.
We started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Oh. They would have stopped feeding him fish after a while.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
beautiful prince and a handsome queen.
beautiful handsome queen.
Huh. Yeah. For him, it's both.
Queen was on her own quest for...
Keep it positive.
radiant rainbows.
Oh, wow. Hey, nice to meet you. How you doing, Domi Kronos?
He followed the sound of her...
Electric sitar.
electric sitar.
Glad to hear it.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
This game is messing me up, man. It's pretty emotional.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Uh-oh. It's completely missing now. I don't like the fact that I can't see the chopper. I mean, we all know how this is gonna end.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
It reminded me of my own tragedies a little bit ago. Messed me up. Come on, hand. Come on. Get rid of the fish. We can't play and chop fish at the same time. It's dangerous. Not that it's gonna matter, but I refuse to play the game their way. Yeah. Never played this before. Hi, baby kitty. Come here. Get rid of the fish. I want to see the screen. Fish are coming out so much faster now. Hi, baby kitty.
But he was so proud of having created it.
Ah. Character's completely fleshed out now.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
A hero.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
This is schizophrenia. Hi, baby kitty.
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Oh, yeah. I kind of figured.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Even if it's really sad and dramatic, it tells a great story. Certainly is. Broke me down into tears earlier. I had to stop playing for a couple of minutes. But that's because it really reminded me of my own personal stuff. That almost looks like a Nintendo Switch. Oh my god. Good call. Thank you for pointing that out. That makes it better. It makes it more interesting. I don't like spoilers and stuff like that, but that's not really a spoiler, and it's
Began
something I
to
could have
forget
easily
the world
missed.
we know.
Very cool. So now he's walking
I
through
think
the...
it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Yeah. Certainly is. Crazy. He's walking through the cannery with delusions of grandeur now. The schizophrenia has really set in. Or is it dementia?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Finch. So he killed himself. Poor Lewis. Thank you, I appreciate that. Oh, God.
I still thought I could save him.
He's gonna die even worse than I thought.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Oh, man.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
It's time to get off this ride, buddy. It's do or die. Guess you're choosing to die. Perception is your reality, though, so it probably all was really real to him.
Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising him.
No, they don't have any faces. Molly the cat. This music's pretty catchy, though. It's not too late, Lewis. Alright. You're living your reality now. It's just a shame because you're gonna bring great misfortune and tragedy to your own family.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Okay. This music's too happy.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My sincerest condolences. Dr. Emily North.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
They put the crown on Lewis, but... on Milton, but the crown really belonged to Lewis. All that's left now is... Sanjay, Don, Sven, and Edie, and Kay. Actually, I don't know if the leaves themselves are gonna... The leaves probably aren't gonna show up. So all that's left is Edie and Don. Could have been a great writer. Hell, game designer even, you know?
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Yeah, I can understand that. That explains the Indian background and heritage of the story that he created for himself.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Now we're going up to her room.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Finally, her room.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Oh, maybe her mother's room. Edith, Mom. Okay. Shit tons of flyers still.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
To teach and learn. And to learn 7 ways to create a fulfilling classroom. I didn't realize that she created the book. I'm just now realizing the author tag. Hi, baby kitty. How are you? Oh, thanks for hosting me. I appreciate that. God, you have called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us, and your love supporting us, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Man, this game's messing me up, dude.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Come here, baby. Come here. I need something to hug. Yeah? This is Simba. He's our baby. He's a lovely baby. Hi, buddy. I will pet you. I will pet you.
Maybe it should have come sooner.
Edith. So what happened to her grandmother? Thank you. He's a lovely little baby.
But it had to end one way or another.
And this is her room.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
My cat's name is Abby. What kind of cat is Abby? Oh, wow. Those must have been made by her brother. It's a quill.
last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
Oh,
Until
that's so
supper,
sad.
when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Hi, baby kitty.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
She's mixing medication and booze. I like the hidden ways. Yeah, all the little secret passages are pretty cool.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Rain and Hager. Ran and Hager. The houses. The night you were born, Odin. The field of people. The mysteries of death and the afterlife. History of the Finches by Edith Finch. Edith Finch. Is this where she's been... Who's been living in here? Edith Finch?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Okay.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
That's so sad.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Just gotta go straight. Just, okay. Scripted
I got
lock.
turned around.
Okay.
For a while, I wandered.
Hey, baby. Simba.
I started seeing things.
A deer. A deer killed Sam.
things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Come here, baby kitty. I don't want you on my computer desk, okay? Yeah, just stay right here. I'll pet you.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
A bed. Molly died in her bed.
That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Okay, never mind. There's just a lot of stuff here.
Or
That
maybe
is.
I came back to them.
Of course, the gate is still functional. Right?
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Yeah. Kitty's in there, but...
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Poor Great-Grandma Edie. She lost everyone in her life, and now
The
she's
next
just
morning,
being
the van
abandoned.
came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Who
We both
doesn't
tried
do
to
that?
make the best of it.
Oh, come here.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Darn Finch.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Well, there's still Milton. It's not completely...
Until I found out about you.
It's not completely
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
a given that he's dead.
If
It's
we
just
lived
missing.
forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Really?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Oh, I see.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Really?
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
I called it. Not happy about it, but I called it. Story by Giant Sparrow for Shirley Dallas. That makes it even sadder. Creative director. Oh, they got all the... They got kid pictures of all of them. That's brilliant. Achievement unlocked. The end of everything. I thought there was going to be more of a actual mystery to this. Like an actual supernatural type of thing going on, but I guess not. Poor Dan, he probably didn't have any kid pictures of himself. As I started to get towards the end there, I started to realize there wasn't going to be a real supernatural element to this. Thanks, Johan. Johan. Who's Johan? The Finches. I wonder if that was a like a inside personal joke against the amongst the game creators. Thanks, Johan. So when they showed up, they had to put that achievement in there as an extra little joke. It's neat that they put all the child's pictures of the crew up on here, though. I wonder if the people that they're showing, it makes sense to me, that the people that they're showing for each segment that's themed for each person, they worked on those particular segments. Well, that was quite the atmospheric, story-driven game. If you play this game and you don't cry like a baby, you're a robot. Shit. Shit, this made me cry harder than Undertale. Shit. Then again, I did have my personal element. That Undertale didn't have, so. Till I am a robot. Are you? Every memory of Lewis Finch. The Edith Finch team. Everyone as adults. The end. You know, Blackwood Crossing. No. Check that out. Huh. The replay a story option is now available. Select Edith to play the beginning. I really liked Molly's story. It was kind of disturbing at the same time, though. That was quite the game. Quite the game.